As tonight, it's President Trump versus the head of the CDC. The president says the man who leads the CDC made a mistake when he testified under oath today.
Well, he said in a Senate hearing that a vaccine will not be widely available until sometime in the middle of next year. But the president says the vaccine could be here before Election Day.
That's right. KCAL 9 political reporter Tom Waite live in the newsroom now for us with more on the difference of opinion. Tom?
Juan and Pat, once again, unprecedented times. Well, there have been differing statements on the vaccine timeline for the past few months, but today was different. Today was a very public disagreement between the president and the head of the CDC. And not just about the vaccine, the mask issue took center stage as well. Tonight, President Trump making the unprecedented move of contradicting the head of the CDC on when a COVID vaccine will be available. President Trump is now claiming one could be ready before the election.
We're on track to deliver and distribute the vaccine in a very, very safe and effective manner. We think we can start sometime in October.
But today, CDC Director Dr. Robert Redfield said this about a vaccine as he testified under oath on Capitol Hill.
I think there will be vaccine that initially be available sometime between November and December, but very limited supply.
And Dr. Redfield testified a vaccine may not be widely available until possibly the second half of next year.
I think we're probably looking at late second quarter, third quarter, 2021.
I think he made a mistake when he said that. It's just incorrect information. And I called him, and he didn't tell me that, and I think he got the message, maybe confused.
The subject of wearing protective face coverings or masks was once again center stage, with Dr. Redfield reiterating they do save lives.
These face masks are the most important, powerful public health tool we have. We have clear scientific evidence they work, and they are our best defense. I might even go so far as to say that this face mask is more guaranteed to protect me against COVID than when I take a COVID vaccine.
The masks have problems, too.
That was the president this evening. Yesterday at a town hall, he made similar statements.
A lot of people don't want to wear masks. There are a lot of people think the masks are not good.
Democratic presidential nominee Joe Biden says the disconnect between the president and his top health officials is harming the country. He also called out the president for criticism that he didn't call for a national mask mandate.
I found it fascinating the president said, and Biden didn't put in a mask mandate. I don't know how old he is, but I'm not the president.
Biden also said he would take a vaccine, but with this disclaimer.
I trust vaccines. I trust scientists. But I don't trust Donald Trump. And at this moment, the American people can't either.
And even when a vaccine is ready, there will be major logistical challenges to rolling it out to 330 million Americans. In what it calls an interim playbook, the CDC outlines a plan on how to distribute a vaccine 24 hours after one is approved by the government. It will be free to those who get it. There are 6 vaccine candidates. Most require a second dose, either 21 or 28 days after the first, and it has to be the same vaccine both times. Cities and states are scrambling to make it all happen. Meanwhile, the coronavirus death toll in the U.S. is approaching 200,000 people. President Trump maintains his administration is doing a great job, and he said this about the people who have died in primarily Democratic states such as California.
The blue states had tremendous death rates. If you take the blue states out, we're at a level that I don't think anybody in the world would be at.
Veteran Los Angeles County leader and UCLA professor Zev Yaroslavsky.
When it comes to a crisis like this, it's one country. It's not blue versus red. It's not Democrat versus Republican. It's not old people versus young people. We're all in this together.
Professor Yaroslavsky also points out the so-called blue states are the most populous. Also tonight, the head of the CDC is not backing down on the mask issue. He posted several tweets reaffirming the science of wearing a mask. Live in the newsroom, I'm Tom Waite. Pat, back to you.
All right. Thanks so much, Tom.